Welcome to the RV Podcast. This is episode 451.
And this week we're going to talk about how you can escape the ordinary, and we're going to unveil some of the new how-tos programs. Also, this week we have RV news of some dangerous wildlife encounters you need to know about.
And social media feedback on RV campground etiquette.
A guide to the proper use of your RV air conditioner.
And the best way to attach photos to the walls of your RV.
Hello everybody, I am Mike Wendland, and this is my lifelong traveling companion and my bride, Jennifer. And I guess I should point out our new merch. I'm wearing our new t-shirt. I love this shirt. This is my favorite one. This is, you want to read it?
Roam, explore, camp.
And there is a little picture of what many may think of as a wolf at the bottom. That's okay, you can think it's a wolf. We think it's Bo, but we got some great new merch designs. Oh, and we should show them this cup too. Let's see. See this cup? This is so cool. This Wander, Relax, Repeat. It's like a little wine cup. It's got a little safety slurpy thing there that keeps it from spilling, and you can take your sip or lock it up and then it won't drip out. It'll keep your wine cold or any other beverage cold. That's one of our slogans and one of our designs as well, the Wander, Relax, Repeat. So anyway, check it all out. We've got links to it. Well, we have been very busy, and they're going to be even busier because I'm excited to say that we're heading up this weekend for our summer gathering
At the tip of the mitt, and we've got a lot of friends joining us, and we're looking forward to having some campfires and sharing meals and exploring together and going over to Mackinac Island and just having fun.
Tip of the Michigan Mitt right there on the shores of Lake Superior. We're going to be doing that. I think we're getting in Sunday. Everybody else gets in Monday, and we'll be there all next week. We'll be doing some live social media. But then we have a fall gathering coming, and we should tell them about that one.
And that is our Nashville Music City meetup, and that's in October. And it has sold out. So if you would like to go to that one, put your name on a waiting list.
Yeah.
And we'll see how it works out.
That's sold out in less than a week. That's how fast that went. But there is a waiting list, and we always have openings at the end. So that includes a visit to the Grand Ole Opry, and that will be pretty fun, huh?
I'm looking forward to it.
We have been very busy on our 10 acres of Michigan property that we bought last fall. As many of you know, we've remodeled a house on that property. We're about ready to put together a video that shows you that process. But we have both of our RVs here, and we put in a garden right next to one of them.
And we didn't realize when we moved here, we realized that this is wine country for Michigan. There's lots of vineyards, and there are a lot of fruit trees, peaches and raspberries and things. But we didn't realize blueberries. So we were told about a great place that grows blueberries, I think, for the whole country.
Yeah, the whole world, actually.
World.
Yeah, they send them all over the world.
So it was fun going there, and we got some absolutely beautiful blueberry bushes. And can't wait till next year when we really get to enjoy the harvest.
The only downside is I've got to kind of keep the deer away, and we've got a badger, a woodchuck that lives out not too far from us, and they also like my blueberries. But anyway, we're having fun with that. Lots of talk on social media about the RV lifestyle. Of course, this is prime time in the summer, and our RV lifestyle Facebook group is like a gold mine of information for you. There's almost 190,000 members now. Wendy Boyer keeps track of all of that for us, and it's amazing the amount of stuff her and the team of volunteers who help us moderate the group keep coming up with this material. There's just so much out there.
And you can always learn something from reading the little highlights, everything. But if you want just highlights, what Wendy picks is like usually the top 3. You can learn something.
Yeah. Here's what everybody's been talking about this week on social media.
Hi, Mike and Jen. One thing we're seeing a lot right now on the RV Lifestyle Facebook group are people who are out there planning their summer trips, and they have a map of where they want to go, and they ask the group what's the best way to get there. And it's just such a post that really took off last week. It was from Jennifer, And she and her husband haul a 43-foot fifth wheel. And they live in Central Florida, and we're going up to Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. And they asked, which way is the best way to go? I-75 through Atlanta, or along the east coast of Florida, up cutting through the Carolinas, which would take her on 26 and 95. Well, lots of people had just gone each way and had some great advice. Cheryl said she had gone 26 and 95, and there was a lot of construction, narrow lanes, pretty steep mountain roads at times, and she said overall the roads were really in terrible shape. But then many others said they had gone down I-75. There were all these semis to deal with, and Atlanta is a nightmare, as we all know. So lots of back and forth, and I'm not sure she got a clear answer of which one's best, but she at least knew what the challenges would be with each. And perhaps the best advice came from Lori, who said, you know, whatever you do, it's going to be challenging, so get up early and try to avoid as many cars as you can. Next, I'd like to share a post from Melissa. Melissa is new to RVing, and she had a question about whether or not she could dump her water, not her gray or her black, but her water at her campsite when she was ready to go. And then she asked the group for just a couple overall etiquette questions for campsites for newbies. And boy, did she get a lot of suggestions. We're talking more than 700 last I checked. Some of her tips for overall were don't cut through people's campsites, don't leave your trash in your campground area where you have your fires, clean up after your pet, respect the quiet hours. And then her question about water, it was a little more divided. Some people who seemed to be in more dry areas said maybe you could put some of that water on vegetation. But most people said just don't dump your water in your campsite because somebody's coming up behind you and you're going to be leaving them a muddy mess. And then the last one I'd like to share with you is a post that took off as well. We're talking well over 600 responses, and it's one that really made me smile. Bobby Joe asked, do you take your pets with you RVing, and can you share some photos? Boy, did people ever share their photos. We had so many cute pictures of happy dogs in the passenger seat of their RV looking out the window. We had cute dogs wearing what looked like sunglasses. We had cats looking out the window, lounging, looking happy. We had cats on leashes exploring the campsite. We had dogs in small fences outside the RV, dogs out for walks in the wilderness. We had dogs that looked like they were just simply smiling at their campsite. It really was a cute, cute post. And if you're having a rough day and you love animals and you want to smile, you need to go check it out. And that's it for me. I'm Wendy Boyer, and I'll see you over at the RV Lifestyle Facebook group.
I tell you, it's just so cute. All those pictures of everybody's fur babies, be them cats or dogs. They're just little cute guys.
Yep. Social media, check it out, rvlifestyle.com/Facebook, and you can be a part of that group. Campingfoodrecipes.com is our sister blog, and it is dedicated to making your life a little easier by helping you find great recipes to prepare on your RV and camping trips, but also how to prep them ahead of time and to make the whole meal thing while you're camping easy and fun and good. Jerica Ma is the editor for campingfoodrecipes.com, and she's got a good one for us this week.
Yeah, you know, everybody when they go camping, they think hot dogs and hamburgers, and lots of times we want a little variety, plus we want something maybe a little healthier. And so turkey burgers.
Turkey burgers. That sounds healthy.
It does, and she gives you tips on how to keep them from falling apart when you're grilling them, and how to make them not so dry, and even what to do with leftovers.
Jerica joins us right now.
Hey, Mike and Jennifer and Camping Foodies. This is Jerica with campingfoodrecipes.com, and I have the recipe of the week for you. And this week is our healthy grilled turkey burger recipe, because I know that camping is known for burgers and hot dogs and frankly a lot of unhealthy food. But it doesn't have to be that way. There are so many great healthy camping recipes that you can use, including this one for turkey burgers. And now turkey burgers can be a bit tricky to make. Sometimes, you know, they tend to fall apart on the grill, or they sometimes end up dry. But we have a few tricks up our sleeves to help you avoid that. So in our recipe post, we go over those tricks, let you know which is the best turkey meat to use in order to end up with juicy burgers and not dry turkey burgers. And we also tell you how you can make the turkey burger patties in advance. So you can just prepare them at home, load them up in the RV, and then enjoy them at the campground. And if you end up with extra turkey meat, whether before you cook it or after. So if you end up with extra ground turkey meat, we have this great taco soup recipe that you can use that ground turkey meat in. Or if you end up with extra cooked turkey meat patties, we have a burger patty casserole that you can use that leftover meat in. So it's just really versatile recipe that is great on its own, but then also can lead into other recipes that we have available on the site. So I highly recommend you give it a try. You can check it out at campingfoodrecipes.com, along with all of our other great camping recipes that we're constantly adding to. And I also want to remind you that you can submit your own favorite camping recipe through their website. And we're really anxious to see everything that you guys have to offer. So please go over and visit campingfoodrecipes.com, and we'll see you next week with the recipe of the week.
Well, you can find that recipe and a whole lot more at campingfoodrecipes.com. We'll put a link in the show notes for this episode at rvlifestyle.com. Just go to the podcast tab. All right, when we come back, the RV Lifestyle Interview of the Week, and our guest is going to be Joel Holland from Harvest Hosts, and Joel is going to announce a whole bunch of new programs that Harvest Hosts has put in place just in time for the summer travel season. Stay with us. The one thing that can ruin a perfect RV trip is a bad mattress, and believe us, we know. Over the years, we've tried many and found them all wanting until now.
Now we sleep on the RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. Quite simply, it's the best we've ever slept on.
We chose a queen-sized Aurora Luxe medium firm mattress that arrived tightly rolled in a box. All we had to do is put it on the bed, unroll it, and wait for it to recover from the compression. Then we put the sheets and the bed covers on, and we found we slept so well on it that we ordered another one for our home.
That's how comfortable it is. Our sleep is now so luxurious and deep that we can't imagine using a different mattress.
Shipping is free, and if you're disappointed with the current mattress in your RV, you owe it to yourselves to try the RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding. Brooklyn Bedding sends out all of their RV mattresses from their own factory in Arizona. That means they're able to use premium materials at a reasonable price for you with no middleman bringing up the cost.
And right now, if you visit rvmattress.com/rvlifestyle, you'll get the maximum discount off your mattress with the promo code RVLifestyle. Again, use the promo code RVLifestyle for a big discount on your RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding.
We're sure you'll be as thrilled with your RV mattress by Brooklyn Bedding as we are with ours. It really is the most comfortable mattress we've ever slept on.
And now it's time for the interview of the week, and our guest is Joel Holland from Harvest Hosts.
Now, Joel has been on the program many times. In fact, I think he was on right after they started Harvest Hosts a little over 5 years ago. And my goodness, that program has grown so much. Thousands and thousands of places to stay all over North America. And they've now added even more and some great new programs. And Joel is going to be our special guest now to unveil some of the new things that Harvest Host has in store for you this summer. Well, joining us now is Joel Holland himself. And Joel's been on the program many times before, but Harvest Hosts just keeps evolving and growing. And we had to get him on now to talk about some new stuff. Joe, it's great to see you here again.
Yeah, thanks, Mike. I feel like every time we chat, it's fun, and every time we chat, so much has happened. So
yes,
I'm sure there's plenty to talk about.
That's exactly what we want to talk about, all of the changes. But I think before we even get going a little bit, because there's always new people coming into the RV lifestyle, there's always new people that are tuning into our podcast. And just for those who don't understand what Harvest Host is, maybe you could give us the 10,000-foot overview, how it came to be, what it is, and then let's talk about some of these new things that you guys have just instituted.
Sure. So, I mean, the very simple overview, Harvest Host is a membership program for RVers. We've got 250,000 members, and we connect them with now over 9,000 locations all over North America, all 50 states, every Canadian province, even Mexico. And really, it's unique camping inventory. It tends to be a little more upscale. We're talking wineries, farms, breweries, really fun overnight stays. And so, all of us, I'm an RVer, my wife and I are in the RV a few months a year. And we're typically in campgrounds. That's how most of us go. But we like to sprinkle in unique experiences. And that's where Harvest Host comes in. So we love going to wineries where we can park among the vines, taste. We can both taste. We don't need a designated driver because we can spend the night. That's a lot of fun. We have a toddler, so we love going to farms where she can actually pet the animals, meet alpacas, see horses. And then I'm a nut for weird offbeat attractions. I love roadside museums, and we have like 1,000 of those in our network. Outdoor auto museums, outdoor airplane museums, underground salt museums, the list goes on. But it's just a really fun way to add a little spice to your RV life.
Now, Harvest Host has evolved and grown so much. I think it was a couple of years ago now that you bought Boondockers Welcome. And maybe you could explain how that is integrated into the Harvest Host mantle, and just how does Boondockers Welcome work, and how many are in that network?
Yes. So we purchased Boondockers Welcome a couple years ago, like you mentioned, 2021. And it's been an absolutely wonderful acquisition because it was very similar in spirit to Harvest Hosts. Also a membership program. There are over 3,000, I think pretty soon 4,000 locations in Boondockers Welcome. And these are more community driven. So these are people's personal properties, their driveways. Some of them own, farms. You can park on the farm. But unlike Harvest Hosts, they don't have a commercial product to sell. They are actually really more interested in the community aspect. So you can stay on the property, share a beer, have a chat about RVing. Most of these hosts are RVers themselves or former RVers. And so they really enjoy that community aspect. So we've put them together. I think about 30% of our members now use both programs and find that, together they're pretty powerful. Stay at a business one night, stay at a winery, go to someone's house another night and have a little community.
We've done all of that. What is so nice about that as you travel, particularly like to a destination where you don't want to stay like 3 or 4 days. You want to get to the destination, but you'd like some unique experiences and maybe not have to pay all of the campground fees and the hassle of getting into a crowded campground. You can really plot out a whole neat route with your website. But today we want to talk, I think, focus mostly on a couple of new programs that you have introduced. The first one is one we just tried out a month or so ago, and we're just flabbergasted because these were campgrounds that we never would have found. This is a new program called Camper's Card. What is that all about, and how does that work?
Yes. So Camper's Card, we call it the VIP program for RVers. Basically, it's a discounts and perks program. So as a member of Camper's Card, and a very inexpensive program, by the way, about $30 a year, you can now get discounts and perks at right now about 800 locations, but that's growing hundreds a month. So very soon over 1,000, and it'll continue to grow. And these are high quality campgrounds. So we're not just letting any campground in. We're actually, we're either approaching campgrounds and asking them to join, or if they approach us, we're vetting them, knowing that RVers are looking for nice places to stay, and they're looking for, especially these days with high inflation and high costs, they're looking for discounts. I mean, budget is important. And so with Camper's Card, you can save at a minimum about 10% on your entire stay, up to 50%, depending on the campground. They decide what they want to offer. Some of them also offer really neat perks like early check-in, late checkout, a welcome amenity like firewood or a discount in the store. But essentially, it's a loyalty card that gets you access to a bunch of private campgrounds where you can feel special and save some money.
I was surprised when we used it, but we found campgrounds that we never saw on any other apps. We found one in the foothills of Appalachia that was just phenomenal, an awesome place for camping and climbing, and a river gorge right next to it. It was great, but we never would have found that if we hadn't popped it up on the campers card. Um, so it's kind of a discount with amenities program. Now, the newest feature that you have offered is one that has been in great demand by RVers because campgrounds vacancies are harder and harder to find every single month, it seems. It's called Camp Scanner. This just launched, I understand. So tell us about Camp Scanner and how that works.
Yes. So Camp Scanner, very fresh. I think we launched it 2 weeks ago. Essentially, it helps you find cancellations at sold out national parks and state parks. So, a problem that all of us encounter, we want to go somewhere like Yosemite or Glacier or, Arches. Unless you are booking 6 months out, as soon as they open those reservation windows, you're not getting in. And it's frustrating because when you look at the survey data, no surprise, the number one place most RVers want to go every year is state and national parks. So Camp Scanner lets you set a scan, say, I want to go to Yosemite next weekend. These are the dates. This is how many nights. This is the equipment I'm using. I'm in an RV. It's 30 feet long. Let me know if anything opens up. And it will then scan every 5 minutes. It'll scan all the inventory constantly and shoot you a text message as soon as something opens up. You click the link. It takes you right to recreation.gov or Reserve America or California.gov, whichever booking platform it's through. And you can click and book it. So we don't add any fees in the middle. This is not us trying to get in the middle of this. We're just simply letting you know about these cancellations, which shockingly are thousands and thousands a day. Here's a cool experiment that I did the week of Memorial Day. So that Monday before the Memorial Day was the following Monday. So 1 week before Memorial Day, I set scans for Yosemite, Arches, Glacier, Shenandoah National Park, Yellowstone, and a couple others, like some of the hardest parks to get into for Memorial Day weekend. And I was like, there's no chance. Let's just see what happens. I got into every single one of them, meaning I got alerts. And I didn't just get a couple alerts. I got hundreds. For Yosemite, I got over 100 alerts for that weekend for openings. And
Now,
that's
now you get these alerts. What do you do then? You then have to pick up the phone, right, and try and get right in, or
exactly.
go
So
online.
we shoot you a text message with a link, a custom direct link to that campsite in that park. So in this case for Yosemite, it would go right to recreation.gov to the correct campground page for the site that is open, C42, whatever it is. And then you can just log in with your recreation.gov account and book it.
Wow.
So it just makes it fast. And it's neat because you can be sitting in your pajamas having a glass of wine while the website's doing all the work for you. And you can set up, like I did, I set up 10 different scans. So I had 10 parks at the same time. And all that's going to do is let me know it's open. So it's not like I'm committing to anything. I just want to know. And I think a lot of times for us spontaneous RVers, like I live in Vail, Colorado, I'm going to start setting up scans for Arches. And when openings come into the Arches campground, we'll just go there for the weekend, spontaneously. It's kind of nice.
Right. It's talk about joining it now. This is a membership program, though. So what's the cost of that? And then I'm wondering on all of these, from Boondockers Welcome to Camp Scanner to Camper's Card to Harvest Host, is there an umbrella program you can get for all of these things?
Yes. So Camp Scanner is also a membership program, but very inexpensive. I mean, basically what we've done is take what could be a one-time fee to do this one time and just made it good for a year of unlimited use. So there are 3 tiers. The entry-level tier base camp is $39 a year. And then you can set up 5 scans concurrently. So 5 different campgrounds or 5 different parks. It will check every 15 minutes for cancellations. The next level is Trailhead. And that checks every 10 minutes and you can have 10 scans. And then Summit, the top plan, that one checks every 5 minutes and you can have 10 scans going. So that's the, best value. Now, if you are already a Harvest Host member, that summit plan is discounted by like 56%. So it actually drops that price down to the $39 point. So none of these are very expensive. Our goal here was to just help campers get into the parks. We're not trying to profiteer off of the fact that you can't get into these places. But it did cost us, it cost us millions to build it. I mean, it was a year-long project, a lot of engineers. It was not inexpensive. So we're trying to recapture the costs. But the goal with all these products, and this is our kind of our stated mission here at Harvest Host, is to make happier campers and happier communities. So that's our direct mission. And we're trying to meet campers where they are along the road. And so boondocking, of course, is solved with Harvest Hosts, neat places to go. If you're going to traditional campgrounds, Camper's Card helps you there. And now if you're trying to go to state and national parks, Camp Scanner is the solve.
Well, it's a full-featured service now that is, I think, essential to anybody who really wants to be sure they can find a place to stay, and not just the standard tinaminium, that's what I call them, tinaminium campgrounds, or you're 3 feet away from your neighbor's fire pit. These are awesome spots. We've been a part of the Harvest Hosts affiliate partnership stuff for a long time, and we should point out to everybody that we can get our audience a substantial discount. We'll put the description, the code in the description below, and they can go to that and learn more and get a really comprehensive idea of what all these programs do. Joel, I have to just ask you personally, because I've now known you for since you really started, I think. Are you surprised of how this is all taken out? Did you have this vision for Harvest Host when it all started, when you were out deciding there's got to be other places to stay, and came up with the Harvest Host concept?
Yeah, it's funny. You and I have been talking since the very beginning, and that's going on 5 years now. I think if I was being honest, 5 years ago when you and I first chatted, I would not have guessed it would be what it is today. It's got much more scale. It's much larger than I thought it would be. And that's great. And I love it, because what I found, I always loved Harvest Host's concept, right? Like my wife and I love staying at, really cool places. So I knew that I was the right audience. I wasn't sure how many other people would be interested. And what we found was there's a lot of people that are interested. And what we found over time is that there are a lot of pain points in RV travel. Like for as much fun as it is, it's becoming harder to be spontaneous these days. And you and I were talking offline, we're losing a lot of control over our travel. And I'm just trying to help people get it back, because I personally want it back. And so all of these tools help me feel like I'm in control of my travel destiny. And that feels good. So, we have 250,000 members. I would love to see this grow to 1 million members, 40,000 locations in the Harvest Host network. And we'll keep coming up with new tools anytime there are new pain points to be solved for RVers. That's the goal.
And I think a big reason for your success is the fact that you are a camper yourself, that your family loves the outdoors, they love to camp. And I'm just glad to let people know that, because it's always good to have a face. And that face is Joel Holland, who's the Camper's Card, the Camp Scanner. One last thing that you just did, and I think it's worth noting, is you've now kind of gone international with something called Brit Stops. Explain that to our audience.
That's right. So we acquired a company called Brit Stops earlier this year, and it's essentially Harvest Hosts of the United Kingdom. So they have over 1,100 brew pubs, farms, things like that, all over England, Scotland, Wales, Ireland. It's really cool. And so as we got to know the team over there, we realized we have a lot in common. We really understand this business, albeit a totally new market, right? England's different than the United States, but not that different. At the end of the day, the similarities between travelers, and especially they call them motorhomers over there, they're a lot more similar than different. And so we loved the business. It was a family-run business. We purchased it with the intention of growing the host network, improving the technology, and trying to make it just as much fun, as we've done here in the United States with Harvest Hosts.
There's quite an interest in camping in Europe, and even many Americans are now going over there. It's much easier now to rent a caravan or a motorhome. And I can see our audience saying, hey, this is our way to see Europe, too. It's in Ireland as well as the UK?
That's it. Exactly. It is. It's in Ireland. It's the entire island, basically.
Ireland, Scotland, Wales, the UK. Awesome.
Right.
Awesome. Well, Joel, thank you. I can't wait till we get you on the program in a couple more months and find out what you guys have been up to. We again will put a full link to everything we talked about and a way for you, our audience, to get a nice discount if they're not a member of Harvest Host. It'll be in the description below. Joel, hats off to you, and I hope Jennifer and I can run into you guys and hang around a campfire and drink a nice cold beverage of some sort. So
that sounds wonderful. Yeah, thanks, Mike. And I love the new studio, love the background. You have more trophies than I have, so I'm going to have to work on that.
Those are Emmys. Those are Emmy Awards.
I mean, that's a trophy, man. That's a win, right?
Well, it was, yeah. But they look nice, right? You know, what do you do with them? Yeah, they look good on camera. That's all they're good for now, I guess. Hey, Joel, thank you so much. God bless you, and say hi to your team for us.
Awesome. Thanks, Mike.
But it's always good to hear from Joel. He's always got so much there for us.
What would we do without Harvest Host?
I know. It just is. It's amazing, what a resource that is for everybody. We can save you, by the way, some money if you want to join Harvest Host if you're not a member already. Just go to rvlifestyle.com/HH. rvlifestyle.com/HH, and you'll get if you use that link, you'll get a substantial discount when you sign up. Okay, when we come back, we have the RV news of the week. Stay with us. Jennifer and I bought some land just west of Nashville, Tennessee, in a 5,300-acre estate, a beautiful collection of mountaintop properties called the Woodlands at Buffalo River. For us, it was the antidote to crowded, expensive campgrounds and the end of worrying about reservations. These are big properties, 5 to 250 acres, and you can build a house, a cabin, outbuildings, or RV year-round starting at $79,900. Your property, your way, 100% ownership, and the scenery is breathtaking. You can landscape, garden, bring your pets, build what you want to. There's high-speed internet, and it is so private. It's a great place to make your home base. No more calling around for reservations. Is ready whenever you want. This is the final phase now. They are selling these on May 20th by appointment. 5 to 250-acre properties from $79,900. There's great financing and big discounts on multi-lot packages. For information, visit myrvland.com. That's myrvland.com.
Welcome back, and now it's time for the RV news of the week. And our first story is about a woman who was camping outside along a river in Montana, and she was attacked by a black bear while she was sleeping. The woman was one of 2 guides for a river raft trip along the Middle Fork Flathead River, just west of Glacier National Park. Bear spray was used, and the bear left, but then returned several times. The woman was taken to the hospital, and her injuries are not life-threatening. The incident is a good reminder to all of us to be bear aware when camping in bear country. That means keep food and scented things in bear-proof containers. Always have each person in your group carry bear spray and more.
Big story out of Grand Teton National Park, and this is another one of those stories that involves what they call Turons, tourist morons, who are they just don't seem to understand anything about wildlife. In fact, I think we almost should figure a way to have a test before you're allowed in. But Grand Teton National Park is asking for the public's help in identifying 2 men who were spotted in a photo harassing a baby bison on June 4th. Regular readers will remember, and listeners to the podcast will remember, that we've been reporting here and on the blog about incidents involving bison at Yellowstone, which is right to the north of Grand Teton. In the Grand Teton photo, these 2 guys can be seen that they released, and we'll show a picture the officials in the park released, trying to find out who they are. They were standing right next to a little baby bison calf. And the National Park Service reminds everybody that these are wild animals, and you got to stay at least 25 feet away from all of them. Never are you to tease, touch, get close to them for a selfie, or in any way harass these bison. They're wild animals. They can be unpredictable. People get hurt. And the animals are the ones who really suffer, because if they're a baby like that, they lose their fear of humans, and then they become a nuisance. And as happened last week in Yellowstone, because somebody who did a similar thing with a bison, they have to be euthanized. So anyway, if you know who these guys are in that picture, make sure you notify Yellowstone, or notify Grand Teton, and they'll do their best to catch these guys.
An interesting story. More solo women, more people of color, and more younger people are getting into the RV lifestyle. This is according to an article in USA Today. The story highlighted research showing the number of non-whites getting into the RV lifestyle is growing, and it quoted research showing the median age of RV owners in 2021 was 53, but the median age for first-time buyers the following year was 32. Also, the number of solo female RVers has significantly risen in the last few years, many attributing this to the power of social media, where solo female RVers share their adventures, attracting more to the lifestyle.
We talked about the bear attack earlier on here near Glacier, but another incident involving wildlife in North Carolina, and this was a 4-year-old boy who was bitten by a copperhead snake. Copperhead snakes are venomous snakes. They were camping in North Carolina in the southern Appalachian Mountains near the Highlands region of North Carolina. Now, his parents were very smart. Immediately, they rushed him to a hospital. But before they did that, the father who saw this happen snapped a picture of the snake. And that was a very smart thing to do. Medical staff at the hospital said that helped them identify the snake, determine what kind of venom it was, and thus they were able to give good treatment to the kid and get him, treated right away for that. He's recovered. He's going to be fine. But it's a reminder that venomous snakes are all over this country. In the West, it's usually rattlesnakes that you have to watch out for. In the South and Southeast, it's copperheads and rattlesnakes, and sometimes water moccasins as well. But a good suggestion from this story is to take a picture of the snake and help medical people immediately be able to know what kind of a snake it was that bit him. We'll put a link to that story and the tips that are offered about watching out for snakes in snake country on the show notes for this at rvlifestyle.com. Look under the podcast tab.
Now, if you're camping in the northeast part of the country, chances are the air quality has made your time outside challenging because of the massive amount of smoke entering the U.S. from the Canadian wildfires. In Alberta, there were reports of 76 active wildfires in the province as of Saturday evening. In Quebec, there were 131 active forest fires, 51 of which were out of control. The good news is rain is expected in many of these places this week, and Canada's temperatures are expected to be cooler, helping with the drifting smoke. And since the wildfire season in Canada typically lasts May to October, many are concerned the fires and air quality are so bad so early in the season. There are some things you should know about breathing air thick with smoke in the wilderness.
Yeah. Again, links to all of this with tips to resources at rvlifestyle.com. Look under the podcast tab and you'll see the show notes for this whole episode right there. When we come back, the RV tip of the week, and we're going to talk about the most important appliance for most of us during the summer travel time, and that is our air conditioners. Queen Bee RV herself, Brenda, will be here with a report coming up after this.
When we're asked what's the most important modification we made to our RV, it's an easy answer. Battle-Born batteries. Battle-Born batteries are quality, safe, reliable lithium batteries that allow us to stay out there off the grid longer. Lithium batteries charge faster, they charge fuller, they're longer lasting, they're maintenance free, and Battle-Born batteries are protected by a 10-year guarantee. Now, in our case, they just dropped into the existing AGM batteries that we have, and they'll probably be the same on your rig too. Battleborn battery experts can get those in your rig just like they did with ours. They can also match you up with the right cabling, the inverter, the charger, the solar controller, everything. Jennifer and I swear by our Battleborn batteries. They allow us to boondock off the grid. Check them out. Go to rvlifestyle.com/lithium. rvlifestyle.com/lithium.
Welcome back, and now time for the RV tip of the week from certified RV inspector Brenda of Queen Bee RV.
Well, Brenda has some great tips for us on how to keep your cool this summer, and to do so by following some great RV air conditioner tips to keep that important appliance running well.
The RV air conditioner is one of the big ticket items in your RV, so preventative maintenance and inspections are essential to help you save money and time instead of waiting on repairs for this important appliance. Have your AC serviced once a year minimum, especially before the hot weather season begins. A qualified RV technician can run inspections to help prolong the life of the unit. Now, if you feel safe accessing your RV roof, there are a few items you can check yourself between servicing. First, be sure to disconnect from all 120-volt power sources, like at the pedestal, your inverter, or generator when accessing the rooftop unit. You can also turn off the individual breaker to the air conditioner. Just note there is one very high voltage component underneath the shroud cover called a capacitor that must be de-energized by a qualified RV technician to do any type of diagnosing, servicing, or repairs. Now you can check that your shroud cover fastening bolts are secure to prevent the cover from flying off while driving down the road. Next, without even removing the shroud, you can take a peek inside at the metal fins on the back side of the AC unit. These are the condenser coils, which can be easily bent and damaged, and that can affect cooling efficiency. So avoid parking under or backing into low-hanging tree branches. If the coils are damaged, a qualified technician can straighten them during servicing, which can greatly improve cooling capabilities. Visually inspect your rooftop unit for insects or mud dauber nests that can hinder performance. Protect the AC shroud with a vinyl cover when in storage if possible. These covers come in all sizes and styles, so be sure to order using the model number of your unit and never run the AC when the cover is installed. Use a surge protector or EMS to help protect your AC from unexpected voltage highs and lows, which could damage or destroy the appliance. Clean your filters often, like every month during peak season. Adequate airflow will provide better cooling and help avoid undue wear and tear on your AC. Here is a troubleshooting tip. Your air conditioner consumes a significant amount of power, especially when first starting, and this can be problematic if you do not fully understand the power capabilities of your RV. Overconsumption could trip a breaker or prevent your air conditioner from powering on at all. Observe what other appliances are using 120 volts AC at this time. Turn off anything that isn't needed or switch to another power source on appliances like your refrigerator and the water heater. Even basic items like the coffee maker or electric skillet, which are plugged into those outlets, can make demands that could exceed your RV's power capabilities, especially if your RV is a 30 amp rig. Hey ladies, are you a female RV traveler? Want to learn more about safety, troubleshooting problems, and maintaining your own RV? Head to queenbeerv.com and click on events to view the locations of our nationwide women's RV workshop tour. We'll see you there. Now back to you, Mike and Jen.
That's great advice from Brenda. Just keep that air conditioner working right, and those tips will help you do so.
And now it's time for the RV App of the Week segment.
And this, of course, is drawn from the pages of newtraveltech.com, which is our sister blog, that celebrates the many ways technology enhances the entire travel experience. And this week, they had a fascinating story on at newtraveltech.com about how artificial intelligence, AI, will change your travel experience. And we will put a link to that in there, but basically, it notes how there are so many different AI assistants out there that they're transforming almost every aspect of the travel experience, from finding cheap flights and airplane tickets and campgrounds and comparing options of where you can stay, booking rental places, flight status upgrades. All these are artificial intelligence tools. Everybody's all worried about the downside, the dark side of AI, and that's a different issue. But this, we're talking about ways to really help you save time and be more efficient.
It's absolutely incredible, and who wouldn't like the idea of not having to compare prices with different airlines and trying to find the cheapest hotel room and trying to figure out best prices for sightseeing places that you want to go. So the good side, let's enjoy the good side.
And for RVers, there are just so many tools now out there that will really help you. And rather than us trying to list them all on the podcast, and many of you I know listen to the podcast as you're driving, all we want to do is tell you to go over and read the story yourself. We'll put a link to it at newtraveltech.com. newtraveltech.com, all one word. That's our sister blog, along with campingfoodrecipes.com. But AI, it is a fact of life, and it's already out there and able to help you do a better job with your RV trip planning. All right, when we come back, the questions of the week. Stay with us.
When we're on a road trip, we always seem to find a way to stop at a Camping World center. There are over 225 Camping World locations across the country, and there's always one close by when we need parts and accessories for our RV or just want to shop. In fact, we have so much fun with Camping World, and as we talk about it as one of our sponsors, they have agreed to offer a 10% discount if you use the coupon code RVLifestyle10 when you buy $99 or more in merchandise. You'll find everything you want, from outdoor furniture and appliances, the ones you see us use in our videos and that we talk about here in the podcast. RV extras that include everything from camping chairs to fire pits, electrical accessories, must-have gadgets. Check them all out. And again, don't forget, use the coupon code RVLifestyle10 when you visit campingworld.com.
Now for the RV questions of the week. And this one comes from Robin. And Robin asks, what do you use to hang pictures or decor on the walls of your RV?
Well, we like to take pictures from our trips, that mean a lot to us. We have some on our walls here of our studio in the house, and the smaller ones. In fact, most of them come from our cell phones. We have a whole bunch of them out there, but we also have them in our RVs, and we use a service called Mixtiles, and I'll put a link to that. They're not an advertiser. We're not even an affiliate of them, but we've been using them for years in several RVs. So they take your cell phone picture and they frame it for you.
You get to pick out whether you'd like white or dark or what color frame
Color
you'd like.
frame.
And I think the best thing is they peel off. There's this sticky substance. You can put it one place and say, oops, not quite right. You can take it down and put it another place. It's not like one shot.
In fact, we've taken pictures and we put them all over our RV. We don't like it. Well, I'm happy wherever I put them, but Jennifer, I should go over here. And we've even taken them out of one RV after a couple of years use and putting it in the new RV, and they stick fine. You can reuse them. That's what I really like about those.
And also, I like to swap out the pictures. You only have so much room for pictures, especially in a small RV, so you put some up, and then, okay, let's switch to another chapter, another adventure. Let's put some different pictures up.
Yeah. Now, that's for pictures. We use Mixtiles, and there's a couple of other services like that you can find, but that's the one we use. But for attaching things like a clock or a thermometer, we use command strips. And again, I've used them in our house, and we use them in our RVs. They hold up very well. The secret that we have found with the command strip is when you apply it to the wall, keep steady pressure on it, where that adhesive is, for 15 seconds. Just hold it there for 15 seconds, and then it will stay. The downside is, unlike the Mixtiles, that whatever that substance they use, you can take it off, put it back on a couple, 3 times. Command strips, you only get one shot at it. So the side that's on the wall, if you take it off, you got to put a new one on because it won't stick. So you can't reattach them. You want to get it right the first time, or use another stick if you're going to put it someplace else. But command strips are what we use. You can get those all over the place. Any big box store and most even drugstores sell them. So that's what we use in our RVs. And it's so much better. You don't ever want to nail anything through a wall.
No, nailing is pretty old-fashioned.
And it's really not the thing to do in an RV because,
No.
you know, you got all these cables and wires and you don't know what's behind that wall. And if you know, you just don't mess with that. So use a stick-on thing like that. All right, we would love to get your questions. If you have comments or questions, you can reach us through our personal email address, which is mikeandjen@rvlifestyle.com. That's it for this week. We'll be back next week, and we'll try and do next week's episode on location from the site of our summer gathering, which is the shore of Lake Michigan, the tip of the Michigan Bit. We'll see you next week.
Happy trail.